Fantastic. So we're starting in a couple of minutes. I just thought I'd start the recording early, just to give people the opportunity to come in a more relaxed way, and then I'll try and make a prompt start as per normal. Thank you ever so much for those people that came to my first session. This is my second session. The first one was looking at the possibilities of ChatGPT in the languages classroom. And I'm really delighted with the feedback I've received so far for that. Lovely. It would be lovely to see some tweets as well if you're on that platform or what have you. And this one is completely different content. It is looking at AI, but it's around project-based learning using AI and Book Creator. So if you'd like to say hello in the chat, as I did previously in the previous webinar, feel free to do so. If you want to send a message so everyone can see it in the chat, if you click where it says hosts and panelists, and make sure that you choose everyone, then that will be good. And I'll have my chat panel and my Q&A panel running on my second screen. So you'll be able to put in any questions that you want, or say where you're from, if you'd like to, in the webinar chat. That'd be great. There's going to be a lot of content to cover, so I'll try my best to answer questions when they come up. We won't necessarily have time for Q&A at the end, but if we do have a few minutes, then I can address any questions that may come up. But there's a lot to cover. But the great thing is that it's all being recorded, so that's fantastic. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to join. Let me know in the chat where you're from. In the previous session, we had people from Germany and Australia and Finland, and obviously lots from the UK as well. There we are. I can see we have someone from Holland joining us right now. That's amazing. So do let me know where you're from. If you'd like to let me know what languages you teach, if you're working at secondary or primary or maybe tertiary level, that would be great. Lovely to see some familiar faces as well. I think we'll wait another minute or so before we start officially, and we can then go from there. So this session is all around project-based learning and how we can use AI, which, as we all know, is a very hot topic at the moment, how we can use AI to save time and to produce resources more efficiently. Okay, I think as it is now 31 minutes past 12 UK time, I will make a start, and lovely to see some familiar faces. Okay, so let me share my screen like that. Fantastic. And there we are. So as you can see, this session is called Revolutionizing Project-Based Language Learning with AI and Book Creator. My name is Joe Dell, as you all know. For those people that haven't seen me before, I'll just give you a little bit of background about myself. So I'm a former languages teacher. I taught French for 13 years, 3 years at secondary school level, and then 10 years at middle school level, working with 9 to 13-year-olds on the Isle of Wight, which is where I am right now. And with my sort of teaching career, I was able to get lots of classroom experience, and I was able to try out some of the ideas to do with technology a few years ago now. But now with the most up-to-date technologies, which at the moment is AI, obviously I'm just exploring with a language teacher's eye on the sorts of things that you can use with AI. And I really hope that you find the content useful. So let's make a start. You can see my contact details there as well. I'm just at Joe Dell on Twitter or X. And my email address is joedell@talk21.com. If you would like to contact me after this session, feel free to do so. I'm going to share the whole presentation with you as well. So you're good to go, and let's get into it. Okay, so in the session, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at how we can use AI, ChatGPT and other tools in order to create content which we can then put into Book Creator. Some of the things we can't put into Book Creator, but most of the things we can, which is fantastic. I'm just going to put my light on, have a bit more. There we are. That's a bit better. A bit more light for you to see. And as I said, I'm going to share the whole presentation with you. We are recording the session, so you can then watch back and look at the different ideas, because some of the ideas are a little bit techie, but you'll all be okay. So that's good. And we're going to make a start right now. So I'm going to come out of my presentation like this. And I'm going to go into ChatGPT. Okay. And I'm going to go to new chat like this. So for those people that saw my previous presentation, you know all about how ChatGPT works. So I'm not going to go over lots of the same information, but I am using the Chrome extension called canned replies, which I will very quickly show you here. So if I go to the Chrome Web Store, like this, let's go do that again. There we are. Okay, Chrome Web Store, and that will then, there we are, come up like that. And then all I have to do is write in canned replies like that, and it comes up like this. Okay, so I'm just going to use this. I've already explained how it works. I'm not going to go through that again. You'll have to watch the recording back, but this is what I'm using today in order to create the activity. So the first thing we're going to do is look at how we can use Google My Maps and Google Earth in the context of a project-based learning activity. Okay, so I'm going to right-click here, canned replies, and I'm going to choose the Google My Maps option here. Okay, so this is the prompt. As you can see, it says, I'm a languages teacher in England, create a table with 2 columns. In the first column, there's 5 famous places in Paris. And in the second column, give her a French GCSE level description around these different places. So you can see here, that's what it's done. It's created this, this table. If you don't know, ChatGPT allows you to create tables really easily. And it's given me some comprehension questions as well. So all I need to do is, oh, that's interesting. For some reason, it hasn't. Oh, I see. Right. So it's what it's done. Okay. So what it's done is it's created the table, but it's got some gaps here. So I'm going to ask it to regenerate the table and just see if it does a better job this time. I mean, it would work like this, but it would just take a little bit longer. Oh, that's better. Can you see? It hasn't got the gaps now. So that's just going to be easier and quicker for me to show. Interestingly, it's got the places in English, but it's got the text in French, which is what I wanted. So I could then say, for example, I could say, could you translate the places into French, please, not English? Okay, let's see if it does that. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect now. Can you see? So using this Chrome extension, which is called voice control for ChatGPT, I'll just very quickly show you this one, just simply because it is absolutely incredible. Voice control for ChatGPT. And it's this one here. And that's what I'm using to use my voice in order to put in my prompt. So it's now made the table that I want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag up from the bottom and I'm going to copy this text like this, copy. And now I'm going to go to Google Sheets because I need to use Google Sheets for this next thing. So there's a little shortcut. You put in sheets.new like this, sheets.new. If you don't know, you can use sheets.new or docs.new or slides.new or sites.new, etc. And that will make you a brand new blank copy of, for example, in this case, a spreadsheet. So I'm now going to name this quickly. So I'm just going to call it Paris. Make sure I spell it correctly, just to prove I'm doing everything live. And then I'm going to now click in that first cell, A1, and do Control V to paste. So that's all I have to do from the table that I've generated in ChatGPT. And now I'm going to go to here, which is Google My Maps. So just do a search for Google My Maps and you'll find the link. As you can see, I've done this once or twice before. And so now all I have to do is click on here, which says create a new map. So I click create a new map like this. Okay. And then from there, you'll see in a second, it will give me the import option. Can you see? It says import. So I click import and I choose Google Drive, which is here. And I click on recent and it should give me that spreadsheet. There it is. So I click on that and I click insert. Okay, from there, you click the first item like this and click continue, and then the first item again and click finish. And what that will then do is it will populate the Google My Map with the different places which which ChatGPT has generated for you. Okay, so now if I click on preview, you can see in a second what it's going to look like. There we are. So now, for example, I could click here. There we are. And can you see it's got the text there that was written by ChatGPT? Okay. And I could go to, say, the next place like that. And I've got the text there for there. Now, if I wanted to, I could click on the edit option like this. And having done that, I can then edit each individual pin. So if I click here, for example, like this, and I click on the camera icon, then what will happen is another page, there we are, will come up. And this time I'm going to go to Google Images. Okay. And I'm going to search for the Louvre. There we are. And I'll find an image. There we are. I'm going to choose this one. I click on that and I click insert. Yeah, can you see? And that's now added that image into my my pin. And again, if I wanted to, I could edit the text here. But there we are. And that's now worked really nicely. Now I could do the same for all the other pins in the same way. If I wanted to add my own pin, let's imagine I wanted to do that. If I click on the pin tool here, add marker, and I then, let's say I go to here, I don't know, the Latin Quarter, and I click there, I could write in le quartier latin, and then I could write some text here, like that, and click the camera. Again, go to Google Images, put in Latin Quarter Paris. There we are. And there we are. Let's choose. Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? So click insert and there it is. And I click save. You can add a video as well if you want to, but I think the images is great. Okay. So from there, once you've made your map, as it were, and you click on preview, you could, for example, if you were doing this as a student, you could then use another tool to record your screen. For example, Flip, formerly known as Flipgrid, or Loom, or Screencastify, and you could be jumping from place to place. Can you see here with the picture and what have you? And you could be talking about the different places in the target language while you're recording your screen. So not only could it be useful as a reading comprehension activity, but you could also use it for speaking as well, if that makes sense. Now, once you've got the text in the questions, what have you, you can click on the share option like this, and I can click, for example, embed on my site. So I need to change the permissions. This is really important. So when you create it from scratch, it will be private. But if I then change that and say anyone with a link, like that, and click copy link and done, I could then go into, for example, Book Creator like this, and I could go to My Books, go to here, and I could then go to the library, which I've set up in Book Creator, which is here. And I could click New Book, click, for example, Portrait. And then from there, click the plus icon and More and Embed, okay? From there, I can then paste in the link and click Confirm. And as a result of that, I can obviously retitle this. So I could call it Paris, for example, and I could click Add, and there it is. So I've now got my map embedded in my book. So if I now press the play button and I click here, it will then take me straight to that page. Okay, so what you could do is, having used ChatGPT and generated some questions, we could then take that content and in Book Creator, I could go back to the edit option, click the plus icon, text, paste in the text like that, and click done. Okay, and I can obviously then resize the text, etc., etc. That fits quite nicely, which is great. And then the students could then answer the questions, having embedded the map, or you could create a template for them with the questions, and then they then have to click on the plus icon and then text and then answer the questions, etc. in that way. So not only can you use this for reading comprehension practice, you can use it for writing if they were to make their own Google Mind Maps, or they could use it for speaking by recording their screen. In a project-based context. So that's how you could use Google Mind Maps with AI. The next idea is we're going to go to a new chat, and this time we're going to go to what's called a Google Earth project prompt. Now, this one, I'm going to do this one in Spanish, if that's okay. So I'm asking for ChatGPT to create a KML file, or the code for KML file, which is the default file format which Google Earth recognizes. And what it will do is it will create, again, pins for 5 different places, in this case in Barcelona. So I'm going to click copy code like that. And then what you need to do is you need to use a tool like Notepad, which it so happens I've got here. So let's click File and New. If you were on a Mac, you could use a tool like Text Edit. So Text Edit comes bundled with the Mac, but on a Windows machine, you can use Notepad. So it's got to be this sort of plain text editor. You then paste in the text like that, and then you go File and Save As. Okay. Now, what's important here is that you end it with KML. So as you can see, I've already got this file here. I might as well overwrite this actually. So if I just click Save, and yes, there we are. I've now got that file. And then what you do is you go into Google Earth and you click New like this. Okay. Now from here, you click Local KML file and you click Import. Okay, this thing comes up. Now it looks like the file is not there, but what you have to do is change this from customized files to all files. Then it will then appear. Can you see? So you then click on it and then click open. And now what's going to happen is, having generated the content using ChatGPT, it's now made these pins onto the map. Now, if I click on slideshow like that, you can see that the text it's created is now here. Can you see? And you've got the question and what have you. So then again, you could share this in Book Creator or give the students the link, and then they could then answer the questions by looking at the text that the chatbot has created. And you could edit that text before you share it with them, of course, and then they have an immersive experience for their activity. So now that I've gone for this particular place, what I can do as well is I can go to here, which is Street View, and I could, for example, click on it once, and then click where I want it to go. So as you can see, let's say we're going to go here. And now what's going to happen is we're going to go into Street View. Here we are. Can you see? And now we can see the Gaudi Cathedral. Perfect. La Sagrada Familia. And it's like you're actually there. So that's the idea. You're creating an activity whereby you're giving the students this sort of cultural immersion, and you could be asking questions, a bit like for those people in England, the GCSE photo card. You could use this for that sort of inspiration as well. And then to go to the next place, all you do is click on the little arrow there. And now we're going somewhere else. But now we're going to the parquet. Okay. And then again, if you wanted to, you could click on Street View and go straight in to that place as well. So that's the idea. That's how you could use ChatGPT in order to create the KML file that you need. In order to import that into Google Earth, you just need to save it as a KML file using a tool like Notepad or Text Edit on a Mac, and away you go. Now, if I go back like this, okay, and I can click on Edit, for example. Okay, and so here I could then edit the text if there was, say, Spanish I didn't like or what have you. I can also do things like change the icon size like this, if I wanted it to be extra large, etc. Or even if I felt the pin wasn't exactly in the right place, can you see? I could actually move it a little bit if I wanted to, because sometimes I find that ChatGPT doesn't get the exact location. So that's another thing that you could then do. And that's it. That's it. That's how it works. So do try it out. This is a new version of Google Earth. So I'm only getting my head around it now, really. After a couple of weeks, it's been updated, but it seems all very straightforward, really. And it's just learning how the new version works, really. So that's another idea. Let's go back to my presentation. So having explored how you could use Book Creator with Google My Maps and Google Earth, the next thing that we're then going to look at is this one. This is when we are going to use another AI tool called Diffit. and created a graded version of an authentic text. So if I were to click on this link, what I can do is I can then bring up the article, but I've already got it here, so I don't need to actually do this. The article is this one. This is an authentic article in Spanish, as you can see, around making a tortilla de patatas. And I'm looking at the text here. Let's imagine I feel that the text is maybe a bit too difficult for my students. So what I can do is I can copy the link like this, and then I can go to a website called Diffit. So it's beta.diffit.me. Okay. And what I can then do is I can click here where it says an article or video. I can also, well, let me just show you. I click literally anything. I can write in a topic, like give me a text about the environment in Spain at the moment, for example. Or I could click here. I could paste in a link. Or if I click here, any text or excerpt, and I could upload a PDF, for example, and it would then make a graded version of that. Or I can paste some text in here. Here as well, this also works with the YouTube clip, but I'll be talking more about using YouTube in my 3rd out of 4 sessions today. So for today, what I'm going to do right now is just paste in the link like that. And I'm going to choose what grade I want the text to be adapted for. So I'm going to go for the youngest, 2nd grade. It will go up as far as 11th grade, which is the equivalent of about 17, I think, in England. So these are American grades. And then here, you can choose the language. So I'm going to choose Spanish, and I'm going to click Generate Resources. It will ask me to log in a second, but that's okay. I will do that. So we'll just wait for that to do its business. It's also got this incredible export option to Google Docs, Slides, and Forms, which I will demonstrate in a second. I'm now going to quickly log in, just so I'll show you how that works. You need a Google account to log in. There we are. And then having done that, it will then allow me to see all the options that it generates through Diffit. So all you need is a URL, and then it will do all these activities for you. Okay, so let's click Let's Go. And then from there, it will then show me the page. There we are. Can you see? Just wait for it to load again. So there's the text. It's made an adapted reading passage. Again, you might want to make that even simpler if you wanted to, but you can see how you can make it for a different year group, as it were. That's then a summary. You've got then key vocab words. You can add more vocab words if you want to, which is great. You've got some multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and you've got open-ended prompts as well. All of that just from one URL. Or if you were to put some text in or upload a PDF or put in a YouTube clip. Now, you've also got this export and share option. So if I click there, then you can see that you've got all these different possibilities. So let's look at one of the Google Slides ones. So for example, let's look at, let's have a look. Okay, pros and cons. I don't know how this is going to work in relation to a recipe, but let's try it out. So then you click open with slides. And again, it's asking me to log in. So I'll just wait for that to load. While it's doing that, I can see that Chris is asking me the question, who drafted the descriptions in the Google Earth tour? So that was ChatGPT. So ChatGPT generated that content, and that was all within that KML file. So I just have to copy that code, what's officially called block code, put it into Notepad, and then export it as a KML file. So that's all ChatGPT. It's all AI generated. Okay, I now need to just give some permissions for Diffit to access my Google account, and that should, there we are. As you can see, it's generating the Google Slides as we speak, and then you'll see what it looks like. And of course, as it's a Google Slides presentation, I could then edit that and adapt it and add things to it. Now, the Google Slides export, that is available for free up until January 2024. And then after that, it will be a premium feature, okay? Originally, they were going to have a whole school license, but now, because so many teachers have asked if they can have an individual teacher license, they're now going to do that. But I can't give you any prices at the moment because I haven't been told that myself. It's not been announced. There's also a really nice Diffit for Teachers Facebook group as well to ask these sorts of questions. Look at this, yeah? So you can see just again from one URL, the AI has produced all these different types of content. And obviously, based on the text, you'd have to decide what would be the most suitable slideshow. Okay. I can see that Christiane is saying, does Diffit have already ready text, or is it only a text conversion tool? So it doesn't have ready text already. You have to put in the text or put in a URL or upload a PDF, and then the AI will then look at that and make a graded version of it. That's how it works. Okay. So hopefully that's giving you a little flavor of how Diffit works. There's lots more that you could do with that, but time is pressing, so I better carry on. So that again is how we could use Diffit, and then you could then obviously take that content. And in fact, before I do that, let me just go back a sec. Another idea quickly is if I were to click export and share, and this time I choose a Google Forms quiz, for example, like this, and click open with forms, I could embed that Google form really simply into Book Creator. So let me show you how that would work. If I Yeah, can you see? Look, it's done it all for you. It's created, and I wouldn't have to have all this bit here. If I just wanted the questions, then it's all set up as a quiz. From there, I could click send, and I could choose the link option, and maybe shorten URL if I wanted to, and then click copy. From there, I could then go to Book Creator, go to a new page, and click the plus icon, the more option, and as previously, click embed, and then paste in the link like that. Okay, and then again, I could adapt the title, but you get the idea, and there it is. So then the students could then do that quiz. I could show you an idea here. I could click on that, and then they would get this, and then they would then be able to fill in the answers, and it would be marked for them automatically. So that's another great way of being able to embed content that you've created using AI into Book Creator. Okay, so that was Diffit. Let's carry on. Let's go back to the presentation. The presentation, by the way, I made using ChatGPT. As I explained in the previous session, I asked ChatGPT to create an outline for Word. I then made all the titles heading 1 using the styles option, and all the bullet points heading 2. I then exported that to PowerPoint using the file export as PowerPoint presentation. This only works in Office 365 in the online version, and it worked really well. It was fantastic. And then I was able to choose the theme. It then populates each slide with images based on the text, and it worked really well. I think it looks lovely. Right, I'm now going to show you the closed captions option in Book Creator, and this is great for helping students with hearing or other types of impairment. Okay, and so if I escape from here quickly, there we are, and I go just straight into Book Creator, I can show you how this works. So for this one, what I'm going to do is click Edit, and I'm quickly going to mute my video, otherwise it won't work, because I can't use Zoom and Book Creator with the video at the same time. So I'm going to mute my video quickly, click the plus icon, and go to where it says camera. And there we are. I'm now going to record my video. So this is what my actual office on the Isle of Wight looks like. Here we go. So adding closed captions in a video in Book Creator is easy. Look, here they are. Okay. So then I click use video like that. I can now turn my video back on, and that's fine. And then what's going to happen now is the video is going to render, hopefully. And in no time at all, you'll be able to then see the little thumbnail there, and you'll be able to see how this works. Right, while it's doing that, I see I've got another question. How do you embed Book Creator onto other learning platforms like Padlet or Quizlet? Great question. When you make a book, you can publish it online. Just go to the My Books, the share option, and publish it online. And then as a result of that, you get a link, and then you can embed that link onto Padlet, etc. Okay. Now I've got the video with the 4 handles, one in each corner. I can click on the eye icon like this, and I can choose the option to add captions. Okay. And then you choose the language. You can see you've got all these different languages to choose from. I'm going to just go for English Great Britain, simply because I did this in English, as you heard. And as a result of that, it will now take about well, I don't know if it's going to be a minute. Let's just wait and see. And it will be able to add the closed captions using the AI. to hear what I've said and then turn this into some closed captions. And obviously that's going to really help, isn't it? So you can see here, it did this another time I did this previously. Instead of book creator, it's written Bucharest. So adding closed captions in a video in book creator, not Bucharest. Okay, in book creator is, I think it was is easy, I said. Let's just check. Is easy, full stop. Look, here they are. Right, let's just double check. If I press play, I can hear what I said. Adding closed captions in a video in Book Creator is easy. Look, here they are. Yeah, that's fine. So I just need to make sure that adding closed captions in a video in Book Creator is easy. Look, here they are. Okay, so that's all fine now. And then I just have to click done. Okay, so yeah, I edit the mistakes before exporting it. Well, it's not exactly exporting, it's just adding it into the book. And now when I press the preview button and play and go full screen, adding closed captions in a video in Book Creator is easy. Look, here they are. Okay, and that's how it works. Now you can do the same thing with audio. If I go to here again and click the plus icon and click record like this and start recording, here we go. So creating a transcript from your audio in Book Creator is easy. Here it is. Okay, use recording. So there's my audio. And just as before, I can make that, any size I want. I click the eye icon and I choose to click the add transcript. So I've clicked on the eye icon, having selected the audio, the loudspeaker icon. And again, I choose the language here and I click generate automatically. So this can be a great way of being able to generate a transcript of any audio that you record directly into Book Creator. Now with Book Creator, it's a completely free tool. Up to 40 books you can have in one library. So you can have one library in the free account. If you want to have more than one library, then you have to get the premium account. But with the free version, you can have a free account with one library. There it is. Can you see? It didn't say Bucharest this time. It said Book Creator. And so for a project-based learning project, that would be perfect because, let's say if you've got 30 children in the class, you could use it once, one book per student. You generate a code for each library, or for your one library, it will have a code. And I'll just check that's working okay. Let's just press, I'll just get rid of there we are. Creating a transcript from your audio in Book Creator is easy. Here it is. Okay, that's fine. And then I click save. Yeah, so there we are. And now it's got a little icon here in order for you to see that a transcript is there. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, for each library, you get a code, you share the code with the students. They can log in either with an email address to create an account, or for younger students, it might be better if you can give them a link as well, or a QR code to scan, and they can join your book that way. But it's not the whole tutorial about Book Creator. I have done that previously in the language show, but not I'm not doing that this time because I don't have time to do that. But that again gives you an idea on how you can use closed captioning and create a transcript in Book Creator live, which I think is very helpful. Okay, lovely. Let's carry on. So the next idea, again in Book Creator, we're going to use a fantastic website called remove.bg. Now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website called photosforclass.com, which looks like this. And I'm now going to just put in the word man, because there's a certain image which I'm going to use, which is this one. Okay, so I click on this image like this, and that will then allow me to download this image like that. There it is. And what I'm going to do is back in Book Creator, I'm going to go to a new page, click the plus icon, and this time I'm going to click on images, and I'm going to search for an image, which you can do, and all the images that come up are royalty free. Photosforclass.com, I've just shown you, is also a site with royalty-free images, and I'm going to click on this icon, which is a cafe scene. Okay, and what's great about this is it is royalty-free and it looks very nice. And for project-based learning activities, it means that you can choose any context that you want for your students. So it should be loading right now. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time for it to do that. Let me just, while it's doing it, let me just try it again. and hopefully it will work this time, or one of them will work. Let's wait and see. There we are. So that's fine. So now if I right click this image, I can click lock, which is really useful. So it means it can't move out of the way. And then I'm going to go to the website called remove.bg, which I've just mentioned in my slide. I then click upload image. I choose the picture of the man like this. And then you'll see that it just removes the background as if by magic using AI like that. So I can now click download, click save, and then go back to Book Creator and click the plus icon. And this time in images, I click upload from your computer. So I can now choose the preview version, which is the one without the background. And now it looks as if the man is in the cafe. Just need to resize him. And there he is. So this could be your students. This is it's a GDPR compliant tool, remove.bg. The content is deleted, I think, after an hour or 2 hours. So potentially you could, the students could be characters in their own project-based learning book. Okay. So I'm going to now click on the plus icon and click shapes and click a thinking bubble here like that. And I'm imagining what this man is thinking. And then I'm going to click here and click on shapes and then a speaking bubble like that. And then from there, I can click here and I could, I'm going to write, for example, I wonder when my coffee will be ready. Now, clearly I could be writing this in the target language, but you get the idea. Okay. And then here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say coffee coming up. And the text is the same size here, but let's imagine I wanted to change the text size. I would click here, click the eye icon, click text settings, and then I would then move the slider to the right, let's say 25, click here again, like that, and then click the eye icon, text settings, and I could again move it to 25. So I know that text is definitely the same size in both. From there, I can click the plus icon and click record. And I can now record my audio like this. Here we go. So I wonder when my coffee will be ready. Then I click use recording. I put this over here, make it full size or as big as the speech bubble. Again, I click here, record. Here we go. Next one is going to be the following. Coffee coming up. Okay, use recording. There's that one. And then the killer feature, I think, here is the fact you can click on the eye icon and choose invisible when reading. Can you see invisible when reading? And again, here, I can do the same with the other one. And that means now, if I press play, then you can't see the audio, but you'll be able to hear it like this. I wonder when my coffee will be ready. Okay, and then the next one. Coffee coming up. So in other words, you could ask the students to perform in their own context, in their own book. You could get them to record their voice. You can get them to write their text. So it's practicing speaking and writing in a very personalized way for a project-based learning activity. So hopefully that's nice and clear on how that works. The next idea is using AutoDraw and Scribble Diffusion. Okay, so AutoDraw I've got here. And I'm going to choose the color black. And I'm going to quickly draw a cat with a mouse. No pun intended. And at the top of the screen, the AI is suggesting what this scribble is supposed to be. You can see it's suggesting it might be a pear or an apple or a scorpion or a rabbit, but of course it's a cat. So I click on the cat and ta-da, it's now a cat. So this is called AutoDraw. It's a Google tool. It works very nicely. And you can do things like click here and click another color. And then you can then, here we are, you can just fill it in. You can then click the download option like this, download it. And then you can go back into Book Creator like this, go to a new page. Oh, actually, let's go back to the previous page because we've got a little space there. Click the plus icon, images, upload from your computer, and then choose the cat. Okay, that should then just add that cat onto the page if it works. Well, you get the idea. Let's just go to the next idea. Here, if I click the plus icon and I click pen, and I choose auto, you've actually got auto draw built into Book Creator. So this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw something on the screen. If you want to have a guess what this is in the chat, feel free to do so. Google is already sort of trying to guess what this is supposed to be. Well done, Christiane. It is a light bulb, but Google thinks it might be a skull or it might be a medal, but of course it's a light bulb. So you click here and it's now a light bulb. And then here you click the little X there, you click the paint can, you choose the color. You can also have these sorts of cool multicolored effects like that and click done. So that's how you can make your own light bulb as well in a really easy way. And if you want to then edit it, you just simply click edit there. Let's just see if the other one has appeared now. No, it still hasn't appeared, but you get the idea. Sometimes it can be a bit glitchy like that. Okay. The next tool is called Scribble Diffusion. I'm a big fan of this one. If I click clear here, and this is called a text to image tool. So I'm going to write a red cottage in the woods. Okay, I'm now going to try and draw this picture like that. So now I'm drawing a house with a mouse, which is not the easiest thing to do. And I did promise you some woods. So let's have a couple of very bad trees. We'll do another couple. Now, if I had more time, I would obviously do a better job of this, but you can see, let's just put a sun in as well, because the sun's really easy. And there we are. Now, what the AI here is going to do is it's going to look at this masterpiece and produce something better, if it possibly can. So I've just clicked go. And now if it works, which it looks like it's going to, it's now going to take this hand-drawn picture and turn it into this creative result instead, which you can then add straight into Book Creator. So I'm hoping it's going to do this quite quickly. It does take a few seconds normally. And if you want to create another version, you can just click go again and it will create another outcome. There we are. Can you see? I bet some of you have said, wow, at home. If I now right click this and click save image as and click save, I can then go back to Book Creator and I can click the plus icon and images and then click here. There we are. Christiane has said, wow, in the chat. For those people watching the recording, you have to just believe me. Right. I then click, there it is. And it worked that time. That's good. Okay. So there's the image. And then again, this could be great for a prompt for speaking or for writing and so on and so forth. There we are. Lovely. And it doesn't require any sort of account to be logged in as well, which is really great to see. There we are. Okay. So with 4 minutes to go, I will just do a few more slides, but that's all the main content I wanted to show you in relation to using Book Creator. In fact, just before I do that, let me just show you how easy it is to share this. If I click library, this is the code, by the way. If you click there, that's where you get the code. You can always disable the code if you want to, but if I click the 3 dots there and click share and publish online, I don't know, let me just write example. There we are. And I'll just click publish online. And there it is. I've done it. And now if I click read online, that's now the link which you could then put into Padlet or wherever you wanted to put it, like that. So all the content I've shown you today, it's all there. It's all embedded. It's all working fine. Right. Let's go back to here. And with 3 minutes to go, we'll just finish off the presentation. So hopefully that's given you lots of ideas on how you can use AI in order to create content in a project-based learning context or in other contexts. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. I appreciate some of the ideas are a bit techie, but you'll be able to watch the recording back as many times as you need to for the next 3 months. And obviously get in contact if you'd like to as well, if there's anything you're not clear about. Today, I'm officially announcing as well my ChatGPT course, which I ran in May and in June of this year. I'm running it again in January. So this is a language show exclusive. It's not free, but you can find out how much it is by going to the links. I'm going to be showing the whole presentation with you. And it's 6 hours of content, and you get all the recordings, all the presentations, all the prompts and what have you, if you sign up for the buy 3, get 1 free package, or you can sign up for individual sessions instead if you prefer. And I've gone for 10 o'clock in the morning for the Australian market, 9 o'clock at night for the UK and European market, and 21:30 for the US market. But you can come to any of them; it doesn't matter, and you can. Depending on your timetable, you can come to say the 10 o'clock and then come to the 21:30 the week after. So it's every Monday in January if you're interested in. Okay. And there's also this Facebook group as well, which is completely free to join, but do please answer the questions and agree to the group's rules. So it's called Language Teaching with AI. There's already 2,500 members. And even today, some people have joined, which has been lovely to see. So if you want to join and connect with other language teachers interested in the use of AI, feel free to do that as well. And if you'd like the presentation, here it is, is.gd/languages show PBL, or just scan the QR code. And we've got a minute to go. So if anyone wants to ask me any other questions, feel free to do so. I can see that Aurore has said, could you use Scribble diffusion in various languages? Yes, I think you can. I think I have tried writing in different languages and it has recognized it. So just try it out. I think that would work fine. Christiane, again, using Book Creator to develop own resources, e.g. little comic booklets, does it let you copy things as templates? You can certainly copy each book that you make, and then you can then share it within that library so other students have access to that book. So yes, absolutely, that's fine. No problem at all. Book Creator also great to get in contact with if you want to ask them any questions. They'll be able to get back to you. Any other questions at all? We've got a minute to go. Do think about that webinar series. If you'd like me to do some online training, bespoke online training for your school or your district or wherever you are in the world, feel free to ask me to do that. I can also do whole school training as well around AI and ChatGPT, and I've done a few sessions like that recently. So I'd love to work with the whole school or just with the languages department. Do let me know. So we have now come to my time, so I better stop sharing, and I'd better click on the end option. I can just see, yeah. So to find out about the course, Lily, just look at the presentation. I'll share it online as well. Look at the presentation. All the information is there. Okay. So you're good to go. Okay. So take care. And thanks ever so much for your lovely messages. I really appreciate it. Bye for now. See you at the third one in a wee while. Bye-bye.